everyone and welcome back to Alex Elliott Golf. Today we're going to run through some pitching positions and setup of how you're going to pitch like a pro. So a lot of amateurs struggle with their pitching. Now for me this comes from not having solid pitching positions. A lot of amateurs I see will take long back swings, de-accelerate into the golf ball, guess the contact and guess how far the golf ball is going to go. Now if we compare this to professionals out on the European Tour and the PGA Tour, they have solid set pitching positions that they can accelerate through the golf ball, and that determines how far the ball goes, and that will generate more spin, more consistency and better golf. So let's firstly run through setup of how we're going to stand to this golf ball better in order to make sure we deliver that golf club into the golf ball consistently to produce better golf shots. So let's talk about setup. I want you to take a stance that is just in of shoulder width apart. Now we've got our stance that's just in of shoulder width apart. I want you to feel like the weight is 60% on your left side and 40% on your right side for a right-handed golfer. This is just going to help promote a downward hit on the golf ball that is bruising through the impact zone. The last component of your setup, I want you to feel like the butt of your club is just past your sternum, so the hands are just slightly ahead of the golf ball. Now this is only marginal, but just slightly, the butt of the club is just left of your belt buckle or sternum. It's not excessively too far to promote digging, and it's not too far back to promote scooping the golf ball. So now we know how to stand to this golf ball like a professional. Now let's talk about 3 pitch positions we can use with each of our 3 wedges to give us 9 different yardages. So pitching position number 1. I want you to, now we've got our stance, weight 60 on your left, 40 on your right. Your first position is arm parallel to the ground. Like a nice L shape here, you can see my arm is running parallel to the ground, and from there I'm going to work through to arm parallel to the ground, or you can work from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, whatever way you want to think about it, on a clock face or arm parallel to arm parallel. That is pitching position number 1. Now the key thing with this is that the consistent speed in it. We're not doing this rushing and guessing the hit, we're doing this with nice delivered speed, nice delivered rhythm, and almost that the golf club is just falling onto the golf ball. There's no anxious hit into the back of the golf ball. That's pitching position number 1. Pitching position number 2, again, is arm parallel to the ground, but then I'm going to go through to shoulder height. Now this just gives us probably 5 yards further. So from there you can see we've got 2 different yardages, but set in stone positions. So this leads me on to pitching position number 3. I want you to feel like you swing through back to shoulder height, and then through to shoulder height. Nice and balanced finish, almost posing it like you're having a picture taken of you. Now, swinging back further than this is going to definitely lose control in your golf swing, and like we said before, will be de-accelerating to the golf ball if you're so close to the green. Now, the reason why we're having these pitching positions is so you can accelerate into that golf ball with confidence and gain your distance that way. So for me, the longer we go back, a little bit of de-acceleration to guess the hit, and then a shorter follow through or an uncontrollable follow through through the golf ball. So the moral of the story is these pitching positions is that it allows us to accelerate into the golf ball. Now this is especially key when it's really wet in winter, because the longer we take the golf swing and the more we want to guess that contact, the harder it is to hit it off these really wet fairways we have in the winter. So stick to that pitching position on the way back and accelerate through that golf shot in order to dominate how far we hit the golf ball. So how are we going to learn these pitching positions? Well, this can be even done at home in front of a mirror, or most commonly, most driving ranges now have mirrors at the back of each bay. So from there, let's just work slowly, 9 o'clock through to 3 o'clock, and just practice these positions slowly, even hitting the ball at half speed, then working it up to the next position, which is 9 o'clock through to shoulder, and then from there, shoulder to shoulder. And I'd like to stress here, the key thing is that the club is delivered at the same speed each time. The length of that backswing and the length of the follow through will determine how far that ball goes. But let's just summarise that setup. We want the stance just in a shoulder width apart, weight 60-40 on your left side if you're right-handed, and then the butt of this club just past our sternum or just past our belt buckle. Then from there we've got our 3 positions, 9 o'clock or arm parallel through to 3 o'clock, then arm parallel through to shoulder, and then shoulder to shoulder. Now this gives us 3 different yardages with each club, and if you have 3 wedges, that's 9 different yardages. Definitely some skills to add to our golf game. Thank you for watching this week's tip on Alex Elliott Golf. Hopefully you can now go away and pitch like a pro. If you've not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button at the end of this video. Thank you for watching.